From delivering pizzas to delivering in a sudden death playoff on the PGA Tour. Now, delivering golf tips into your living room. Tim Petrovic joins us on Academy Live with his instructor, Rick Bradshaw. On the show, Tim and Rick share the secret to effortless power. Tim uses a dynamic balance system to show you how to achieve perfect balance in the golf swing. And you'll learn a drill that Tim copied directly from Ben Hogan.
Tonight we'll be delivering a lot of tips on the Golf Channel, starting with this one right here.
Hey Tim, will you autograph this for me?
You betcha. Coming up on Golf Academy Live.
Anybody want some pizza?
The Golf Channel and the PGA of America present Academy Live.
Here's a drill that I've been working with for many years, and I use it to help people stay wide in the takeaway, not lifting up high. When I work with my juniors, I always tell them to pretend they have food on the end of the stick, and I tell them to feed the alligator, not the giraffe. I want them to go low against this resistance, feed the alligator, turn a little bit, unwind the left side. I can really build width and velocity with this drill. So turn the club around like this, feel that resistance, and stay wide. I can actually hit it pretty well one-handed doing that. About 6 years ago I hit it 323 yards doing this one-handed. Let's see if I can do it.
That was pretty impressive drive one hand there, Rick. Centrifugal golf swing. Is that what you're talking about in that one-handed drill?
Absolutely. Really need to understand, when I started doing that, I didn't really know what I was trying to do. I'm taught 100,000 lessons hanging out there, 27 years trying to help people, and I just started hitting it one-handed, and all of a sudden I started hitting it very far one-handed. And I said, maybe I better find out how this works. So I went and bought some physics books. And I wanted to look up the word centrifugal force.
Okay.
Because I think I did 9 videos in the first 8. I'm throwing the word centrifugal force around. When I looked in this Energy Forces of Motion book, it wasn't in there. The word centripetal force was in there, and it said the force which makes an object turn in a circle. So I kind of delved into the meaning of centripetal force, and it said this: when an object rotates in a circle, force must be directed to the center of the circle to maintain the motion, otherwise the object will take off tangent to the path. This constraining force is called a centripetal force, meaning center seeking, meaning if I keep my hands fixed in the center, ball travels in a perfect orbit. If I move side to side, object takes off tangent to the path. Number one, the second benefit of this is control. As long as this rope is pulled taut, I can feel where the ball is and control the ball. And third, I can get great velocity. Actually, this is a unbalanced opposition. A balanced opposition would be no movement at all, but here is I'm making a mini circle here. This travels faster in a wider arc, so I get great speed with no effort. If you go on the merry-go-round, you get on the horse on the outside, not the inside, it gives you a better ride. Same with the first wheel.
All right, so relate that to a golf swing.
That's right. So if I'm going like this here, if I'm going to move back and forth, I have 2 pivot points, right foot and left foot. So I'm going to turn my torso into the friction of my feet, maintaining a flex in my knee, and I want to maintain this centripetal opposition back and forth and not slide where I would have to use my arms to make up for it. So I want to load potential energy into each side to get this to whip. And I kind of went like this. And this club wants to fly out. I want to create a centrifugal tendency. I found the word centrifugal, but I didn't find the word force behind it. I found centrifugal tendency. The tendency of an object to fly out is very evident when I make it move in a circle. So I'm not going to let it, and I'm going to get great speed, control, and consistency. So when I hit it one-handed, I just kind of sit up here. I'm going to turn into the resistance of this thigh, building up friction and potential energy in my calf, thigh, gluteus, and a little bit of the obliques as I turn. And then I want to release it. And what Percy Boomer said was this, and I want to quote old Percy.
I got his book in my hand right here, actually.
Yeah, it's in the chapter centered on wrist action.
You've read this a few times, I can see.
Yeah, a few times.
Right.
As the club head arrives into the region of the ball, Our body, because of its comparatively short degree of action, has gotten into its opposing position with the left heel back on the turf, left side straight and firm, right hip twisted in the left one, the whole giving a sense of secure brace to the whole body. By this time, the arms are halfway down, but the wrists are still pulled back. But now, owing to the forward pull of the hips and the gathering momentum of the club head, something must happen. What happens is this. We can no longer keep the club head from flying past the ball. We've done everything possible to delay the club head, to inhibit wrist movement, but finally the club head gets out of control and flashes through the ball as if mad with rage. And we must see to it that we do not interfere in any way with its ferocious passage through the ball. So here, as I hold this and make that move, I'm doing what Percy just said. So I'm getting a centrifugal pull, and Tim does that. Tim does it. He doesn't think about it.
Sometimes.
But that's
I
what
do it
Tim
sometimes.
And all
When the ball goes straight.
All that was verbatim quotes out of Percy's book.